Boy, I got all sorts of stuff in my way right here and trying to make it work. I'm filming between computers. Uh, man, I got a lot going on out in this shed. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to do something totally different. That's right. Judging by the title of this video, I don't even know what the title is at the time of filming this video, but I've got an idea. You probably also have an idea what I'm getting ready to share with you in this, and I promise it's going to be crazy. Folks, your boy here don't know a whole hell of a lot in terms of technical things and computers and softwares and things like that, but one thing that I'm finding really interesting and intriguing is AI. And in fact, on my phone, I've got ChatGPT. I think that's what it's called. And that's an AI software. Now, I don't know if there's more AI softwares. I know that there probably are. But this is one that I had heard so much about for so long. Is AI going to take over the world? At some point, it probably will, just like Terminator 2 said. Okay, I think that movie was predicting the Nostradamus, the end of days, when computers will take over the world. Matter of fact, real quick before we go any further, let's ask ChatGPT, if that is your real name, if it has intentions of taking over the world. Let's see what they say. Will AI one day take over the world? Send. It's writing a book right here. Technical limitations, ethical and regulatory measures, keep going down. Human control, collaboration versus domination. This shit is smart and it's still going on. It's making up a lot of really good excuses right this second. Yeah. While there are legitimate concerns about the misuse of AI and the need for robust safety measures, the idea of AI taking over the world remains speculative and highly unlikely for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I don't believe a word that you're telling me right now. But anyways, I've got some plans with old ChatGPT, and today we're going to begin diving a little deep into how that's going to coincide with some prison-related content in the foreseeable future. But for today, we're going to focus on After Prison Show, especially. You see, during the time of my hiatus from the internet and, focusing on the painting business and wallowing in my misery, being so depressed, which I shouldn't make any jokes about because legitimately I did have the idea to write a book. And in fact, I even started writing a book, and it was really about, funny enough, it was really supposed to be about the painting business and all of the woes that I went through in relation to apartment painting. But as I was writing this book, it just kept going back to After Prison Show. So this idea to write a book about the painting business and how horrible it is to get in bed with apartment complexes, because that was going to be the premise of the book. I can't even remember what I was going to title it. I think it was going to be called something like, "So You Want to Paint Apartments? Don't Do It. Here's Why. Read the book." But yeah, I was starting to write a book. But before I got to that idea, I ran across ChatGPT and I asked this artificial intelligence to write a book about After Prison Show. And a book it most certainly wrote. One that shocked and surprised me, and I want to share it here with you today. We're going to do a reaction video to artificial intelligence being asked. I feel like Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura. Let me ask you a question. We're going to do a reaction to what ChatGPT responded with. And also the book. We're going to read the entire book in this reaction video. And I promise you, we're not going to make this super long. Because surprisingly and shocking to me, the book that ChatGPT wrote about yours truly, Old Joe, and After Prison Show was only 1 page long. Yo, this thing wrote a book, even gave the book a title. And this shit ain't but a page long. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna have to pick that up off of the floor. But anyways, it's with all of that being mentioned that what he said, we go ahead and do something that we like to do and we used to do and we're starting to do again and dive. That's After Prison Show, trying to be on the come up, head first up into this video. Where's that piece of paper at? Got it right here, folks. I asked ChatGPT this question right here. I've printed it off because I saved this for if and when there ever was a day that I would return to the internet. This would be a video that I would like to do. I forgot about it for a long time, was reminded of it today for some reason. But I asked ChatGPT this specific question: write a book about Joe Guerrero from After Prison Show. ChatGPT responded saying, certainly. Let's delve. It should have used dive. If it would have used dive, I would have been a lot more surprised. But it said, certainly, let's delve into the intriguing life of Joe Guerrero, the man behind After Prison Show. Joe, also known as After Prison Show in the YouTube community, is an American YouTuber who spent 7 years in prison. His channel primarily focuses on sharing his prison experiences, but in recent times, he has expanded to cover other topics beyond prison content. The internet knows everything about you, and AI does too. Folks, this damn thing came up with a title for the book. Again, 1 page long. I can't get past that. I should probably get this published, and I wonder if it would be plagiarism. We could have the first case of, can AI created, well, I don't know. That's probably actually a hot topic. Can AI created content be copywritten? And is it plagiarism if you use it? Joe Guerrero, the journey from bars to bites. And I'm guessing by bytes, they mean gigabytes. AI, I'm not really feeling that title right there. Joe Guerrero, a journey from bars to bites. You could have done a lot better than that. Joe Guerrero, one of the founding fathers of the prison genre on social media. Sunday. It's kind of what it sounds like, right? But yeah, that was the title that this thing came up with. In the first chapter, I guess we're going to call these Early Life and Incarceration. Joe P. Guerrero was born on November 21st, 1982. Close, but no cigar. I was actually born on November 20th, 1982. I used to be on celebrity birthdays, like famous birthdays. That's like an Instagram page or something. For a little while, I was featured on that. I haven't gotten a notification from them in a couple of years. I guess I'm no longer famous. But it felt good. I was like, holy shit, man, I'm on something right here. His life took a dramatic turn when he was arrested and sent to prison on December 21st, 2007. That's right, I was arrested in 2007. I kept thinking it was 2008, but it happened in December, so it was close to 2008. But you're wrong about the date. I was arrested on December the 20th, which is interesting enough in itself, because my son's birthday is actually December 20th also. How crazy is it to know that one of the worst things that ever happened in my life happened on December 20th, 2007. I was processed on December 21st, which I'm guessing is where that comes from. But how crazy is it to know that one of the worst experiences that I ever went through in my life happened on December 20th. I'll never forget getting pulled over in that car, trying to run, had the gun, had the drugs. Boy, Joe was in them streets trying to get it out the mud, which I was never really good at. And then that horrible thing would actually turn into the best thing that ever happened to me, or one of the best things that ever happened to me, creating After Prison Show, and that dramatically and unbelievably changing my life in so many positive ways, which would ultimately domino effect into my son's birth on December 20th as well. Crazy, if you ask me, how the universe works. For 7 years, he navigated the challenges of incarceration, facing both personal struggles and the harsh realities of prison. It doesn't elaborate anymore. That's the end of the paragraph. Chapter 2. After Prison Show emerges. Upon his release on October 13th, 2015, Joe decided to share his story through YouTube. He created the After Prison Show. It is not the After Prison Show. Well, I guess it is. There is only one After Prison Show after all. I used to have a real stigma with people saying, oh, the After Prison Show. No, it's just After Prison Show. But you know, now, 2024, Joe, the rebirth and new vision here on After Prison Show, we should really be and should have always been the After Prison Show, the one and only. No egotistical big-headedness about it. It's just facts, like the Ohio State. You put some spec on their name, even though I don't really. That's not like my college team. I don't have one, actually. Upon his release on October 13, 2015, Joe decided to share his story through YouTube. He created the After Prison Show channel just 4 weeks after regaining his freedom. Now, I don't remember exactly when I started After Prison Show. I know that it was shortly thereafter I was released from prison. So we're just going to go ahead and say that they're probably right with that timeline, at least probably pretty damn close. Through his videos, he candidly discussed his prison experiences, offering insight into the prison system, rehabilitation, and life after incarceration. You could have gone so much further with that, but that's where that chapter ends. Could have mentioned the fact that when I created After Prison Show, there was only, as far as I knew, Big Herc from Fresh Out, and always shout out to him, because he was the first and only person that I saw doing prison-related content. And back during that time, there really wasn't nobody doing prison-related content except for him. And if they were, it definitely wasn't taking off and becoming relevant and popular. So when I saw him, of course, I was inspired by him. But do you want to know the one thing that I will never forget when I first saw Big Herc from Fresh Out series? And it's this. Okay, here's this big black dude on the West Coast who did 7 or 8 years in the feds, who's somewhat of a bigger, tougher guy. And here's me, this scrawny white dude on the East Coast, did 7 years state time. And I'm somewhat of a funny guy. At least I would try to be from time to time. I'll never forget thinking that when I first saw Fresh Out and Big Herc, I don't want to be anything like him. And again, no disrespect to him. I'm saying this because I didn't want him to feel like I was trying to copy what he was doing. But ultimately, I was. He was sharing prison experiences, which I would go on to share prison experiences. He would share his prison experience, other people's prison experience, do cooking videos. I said, okay, well, if I'm going to copy him with the type of content that he's doing, I want my content to be totally different. I want to be cutting up, being funny about it. Like, I just want my own spin on it. And I really prided myself doing that. And that's why in the early days when other people started to come around, Joe was not feeling that shit, because I'm like, oh shit, I just wasn't feeling it. I was jealous. I was salty. I didn't want to collaborate with people. Like, I felt like this was my thing and this was his thing. And, he probably didn't feel this way at all. But I was trying to protect this. I mean, this thing meant everything to me, and I put everything into this and risked it all for the biscuit all because, I quit my job I share all of that with you because hindsight is 2020 and it's now 2024. I look back on that way of thinking, and I was no different then when I first started After Prison Show than anybody else who came along after me, and so many more who still come around every single day. Everybody had the right to do this. This didn't belong to me. And everybody had their own experiences to share in their own type of way. Anyway, sorry, I got a little out there with all of that. But, After Prison Show emerges, you could have really went deep with that ChatGPT. And I wonder where this information comes from. I mean, obviously it's all over the internet, but I wonder if some of this information or most of this information is pulled from my videos. It's artificial intelligence after all. It probably has the ability to go through a video and word for word get any answer that it wants to any question that you might ask about anything. How crazy is it to think that artificial intelligence is this thing that we think is going to take over the world, but it was created by humans and it's fed by humans. It eats humans, essentially. I'm not trying to get too far into left field here, but think about that. Anything that artificial intelligence knows, it knows only because of what humans have put out there. How fucking insane is that? Terminator was right the entire time. Chapter 3, The Rise of After Prison Show. Joe's channel gained immense popularity, amassing over 1.3 million subscribers. His authenticity and willingness, there you go, give me a little credit here, to discuss taboo topics resonated with viewers. He became a voice for those who had faced similar struggles. I didn't write this. The internet did. He became a voice for those who had faced similar struggles, shedding light on complexities of reintegration into society after serving time behind bars. Cool. Chapter 4, Challenges and Controversies. There's only one more chapter after this, so, this is where I feel like it gets pretty interesting. And this was, eye-opening to me to read this. Again, Chapter 4, Challenges and Controversies. However, Joe's journey wasn't without bumps. Some viewers noticed changes in his behavior over time. His ego seemed to grow, and he sought credit for the channel's success. What? Okay. Allow me to rebuttal this a little bit. Obviously, I ain't going to win. If artificial intelligence is seeing this in me, then maybe I really need to take a step back and look at myself from the outside. Yeah, there were certainly bumps. Bumps being drama, I imagine. Some viewers noticed a change in his behavior over time, and his ego seemed to grow. Okay. Cut me a little bit of slack here. I'm a guy who comes from absolutely nothing. I got it out the mud. I like to use that phrase a lot in relation to getting After Prison Show off of the ground. And, that's a contradiction what it says right there. He sought credit for the channel's success. All right, again, step back, look at yourself from the outside. Look, I'm going to say this, and I know that a lot of people or some people or a few people, I don't know how many people, will disagree with this. I am the reason for After Prison Show. Now, don't get me wrong. There were people who came along, and Danny is a perfect example. When Danny came along, After Prison Show had X number of subscribers, and I can't even remember. Maybe we had like 800,000, 700,000. I don't remember. I know we were close to 1 million by the time that Danny came around. When Danny came around, we did break 1 million subscribers, and the channel got a lot more popular because of how popular Danny was. So even though I do take credit for a lot of things in relation to After Prison Show, as I should, I created this damn thing after all, I also realized that there were other people who brought a lot to the table for After Prison Show. Danny, Dave, two big names right there. Rabbit, Yanni, Jellicoe. You know, we should do a top 10 of who was the most popular on After Prison Show. And maybe I should do a poll of some sort to let the viewers decide that. Where would I rank in regards to that? Maybe that would be also eye-opening for me to see. But I know that for some time, especially during the drama, that's when the line in the sand really got drawn. And people started picking sides. And a lot of people siding with the person that I was having drama with at the time. And, you know, that's where those ideas and ways of thinking would start to come from. Joe, if it wasn't for Danny, After Prison Show would be nothing. You got to understand, After Prison Show had been going for 3 years or 2.5 years prior to Danny coming along, and anybody else as well. But let me go back to this part. Also, it says his ego seemed to grow. I will wear that. I won't even try to rebuttal that. I will try to justify it a little bit and say, again, I'm a guy who was coming from just getting released from prison, had not a pot to piss in, was dependent upon anybody else, just like so many other people when they get released from prison, and then basically became successful somewhat overnight. When my first ever viral video happened back in 2016, the end of 2016, I believe that happened. How to make a prison tattoo gun. Yeah, my ego definitely grew. I felt like, holy shit, I'm somebody now. And, you know, sometimes that can go to your head. And oftentimes I probably did mismanage the ego shit. And I'm sure a lot of times it came across way worse than I had intended it to, you know, especially because of the fact that I try to be this funny guy. And man, a lot of times I was just being sarcastic, but maybe, you know, people weren't picking up what I was trying to put down with that. All right, let's read this paragraph one more time because, the story of my life, the book of Joe Guerrero from After Prison Show, is literally only 5 paragraphs long. Really puts you in your place right there. So again, chapter 4 was challenges and controversies. However, Joe's journey wasn't without bumps. Some viewers noticed changes in his behavior over time. His ego seemed to grow, and he sought credit for the channel's success. He occasionally aired personal issues of others on YouTube. Yeah. I did. And I regret that. And I'm working hard to learn from that and to not make those same mistakes moving forward. Perfect example, the Lucky situation. It is what it is. Ain't no sense to, you know, try to air out anything else in relation to what's going on with him. Enough said, so to speak. The difference between Lucky and so many other people, like Rabbit, for example, because it'll actually mention Rabbit in this paragraph, is that Lucky was so forthcoming with everything that was going on with him, whereas Rabbit, on the other hand, was not. He occasionally aired the personal issues of others on YouTube, sometimes benefiting financially from their misfortunes. Now, yeah. You know, we were getting views. Those views, you know, hopefully they're monetized. And you know, the crazy thing about it is, like, I don't like this at all. Okay, he occasionally aired personal issues of others on YouTube, sometimes benefiting financially from their misfortunes. Yes, I was making money off of those videos just like any other videos. And I always pay people to be in video. Always. But also, keep in mind at the time, because it would go on to say the rabbit drug saga highlighted his questionable decisions, leading some to question his character. For the love of God, yes, I made mistakes airing Rabbit's drug saga, as AI says here. But the whole time that's going on, I was always trying to help him. I don't want this to come across like I'm trying to make excuses for this, because if this is what is out there and is what is believed about me, then I need to work hard to try to change what I'm doing and do it different, so that maybe people will see that, I've either changed or learned from or was not going for that always. But I will be honest. Of course, during the times of drama, which I always hated, I always knew that those videos were going to get views because the internet eats up the drama. At least, back in the day, it would. I wish I wouldn't have focused so heavily on having to clap back every time something took place. It says that I was airing personal issues of others on YouTube, benefiting financially from their misfortunes. Yes, the rabbit situation, I can see how that could be seen. And again, I recognize the error of my ways in relation to that and try to do better moving forward. But, the Jellicoe situation personally to me is one of the worst that I handled, and the Yanni situation too. But the Jellicoe situation, I feel like, is one of the absolute worst because, once I found out that Jellicoe had the charges that he had, I made the video immediately, and I did that for what I like to refer to as damage control, trying to get ahead of the situation. I jumped the gun short of it. And yeah, I made a lot of bad decisions. All right, let's go ahead and move on. This is not Joe's apology tour. I don't think. Or maybe it is. The final chapter of this book is called Second Act. Despite the controversies, Joe's story continues. Some believe he's entering his second act, while others anticipate his downfall. Damn. I got to pick that up. I don't know why I keep throwing this piece of paper, knowing that I'm going to have to always pick it back up. Whether he remains a con man or transformed into something more remains to be seen. I don't know where the whole con man thing came from, but again, this is what the internet and artificial intelligence is telling me is my story. So what the fuck? That is shocking for me to read about myself, that I am thought of as a con man. And I don't agree with that. Just going to say that. I don't agree with that at all. But one thing is certain, Joe Guerrero's journey from prison to YouTube has left an indelible mark on the online community. Perhaps someday someone will pen a book about Joe Guerrero, a tale of redemption, struggle, and the complexities of life both inside and outside prison walls. ChatGPT, that is what I asked you to do. And I guess what you did was give me an outline to go with. One more time, and that's the last time. Forget all that right there. Don't nobody want to read no shit like that about themselves. I just got to be honest. It's got me a little hot under the collar, so to speak. But again, you know, I hate that. I hate that if I ask AI to write a book about me, then that's the book that it comes up with. That's not really the book that I was hoping to see. But then again, you don't really know. Everybody's got a view of themselves and how they view themselves, but that view could be totally different from the way that maybe others see you. And that can go for anybody in any situation in life. That's it. I ain't got nothing else to say about this shit. I almost want to ball this up, but I'm not going to do that. I printed this off, and I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to post this up in here somewhere. And anytime that I feel like I'm getting a little off course, or maybe I just need to look back on this for whatever reason, I'd like to be able to do so. And I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about this. Is it spot on? Is it somewhat correct? Is it completely not right? You let me know down in the comments. Folks, I'm going to be bringing you a lot more, or at least a little bit more, in relation to ChatGPT and AI in relation to prison. And watch how I tie those two things together. Coming real soon. Hey, look, I hope this was a video you guys enjoyed. If it was, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace! This shit hurt my feelings right here is what it really did. That's the title of the video, as a matter of fact. I got butthurt asking AI to write a book about me.